Good morning. For today's adventure, we're going to be talking about the Bearded Adventure Camper. I was just gone for 7 days fishing with my buddy Paul, and this camper worked beautifully. I was super comfortable. But in the 7 days that we were out, I learned a few things about how I can make a few things better. So in this video, we're going to talk about a few things I think are must-haves for the camper and some things that I'm going to change. A power source is really important. So I use this Predator foldable 100 watt solar panel that wires to my Zamp plug there, and it goes to my little Predator 350 watt power station. You can see right now I'm doing about 14 watts in with it. That's because it's overcast right now, so we're not going to be doing great, but it'll charge up in 3 hours and 11 minutes at this moment. I have never plugged this into a wall to charge it. It's all been charged with those solar panels. A definite must-have. This system has been working great. This outperforms my Bluetti, which broke. I also did a little video on that, how to fix it. But this thing has been great. So what do we need power for? Well, I got this little Set Power refrigerator I got off Amazon for, I believe it was under 200 bucks. It was on sale. This thing has been great. I'm going to do a review on it. I've been using it for about 4 months now. You can just leave it plugged into my solar box and it'll work great. With this system, if I want to go somewhere, I gotta unplug it, wrap it up, and put it away. So I have something in the works that will solve that problem. We'll talk about that here in a little bit later. The Set Power fridge isn't huge. I don't know the exact dimensions, but it works great and it holds everything I need. It lasted for the week-long trip I was out. We just stopped at little stores and replenished, and it did a great job. Another thing that I used a lot of at night when we were out there for that whole week-long trip was this little REI lamp with a little diffuser on it. This makes a really nice light. It has 3 settings, high, medium, and low. And it's also rechargeable by the sun, kinda. It works pretty good. I never had to charge it the whole trip, and I use the heck out of it. And I just can hang it like here if I want. Here, or you can just set it on a table and it just diffuses some really nice light. All right. I also have this CO2 monitor because this is a pretty tight cabin, and if I want to use my buddy heater or something, you know, we always worry about the carbon monoxide poisoning or whatnot. It's supposed to have a shut off on it, and anyway, I have this little CO2 monitor. It tells you what you got going on, and this even tells you what the temperature is, and looks like humidity level, and it has an alarm that goes off if we get into the dangerous areas. This was about 20 bucks on Amazon. I'm putting together a Amazon storefront. I haven't got it done yet. I'm going to get that done, and then I will be linking that in all my videos. Another pretty decent piece of kit for my pack out here in my camper is this Garmin InReach Mini 2. This, you have to have a subscription. It's about 14 bucks a month, and then they offer search and rescue insurance for about $40 a year, which will cover you for about $100,000, I believe. Might be different in the regions that you live in, but for this is right around 400 bucks. It's a great investment and great to have, because most of the places I went had no cell service or anything like that. So this is satellite, so you hit that button and somebody's coming, no matter where you are. Another, I think, good idea to have is to have some like emergency food with you. So I have this 72-hour kit from 4 Patriots. They had a thing going a year or two ago. The 72-hour kit wasn't a great deal, but it's pretty nice. It has all kinds of meals to last you 72 hours. So You know, I've always wanted to be able to just split and take off at a moment's notice, and all you need is water, which we'll get to that, and a way to boil it. I'm talking about boiling water. I can't go anywhere without my Jetboil, man. This thing has been an amazing piece of kit. This is the slightly smaller one. I have the bigger, I think it's a 2-quart one, not sure. But this system has been great. I can boil water in less than 2 minutes, and then I have just a pour over drip coffee filter thing that goes right into my cup. I can make coffee super easy. And then for my freeze dried meals, you know, you just have to boil 8 ounces of water usually in most cases, and boom, you know, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, you're eating. I never leave home without this thing. For water, I have this little Reliance 4-gallon water container. This is nice because it stores upright. And then when I need it, I can just set it on my tailgate and I can wash my hands if I need, or whatever, or use it to wash dishes, anything like that. It holds 4 gallons. They say you need about a gallon a day, you know, to consume. So I always put stuff in there that I can drink. And then you can always find places to reload it along the way. But this is always with my camper. These nice little 50 caliber ammo boxes from Harbor Freight are a pretty good storage solution. This here is my toolbox. I'll show you what's in it. So I got extra wires that come with your solar panel kit, the Harbor Freight solar panel kit. I have a 16-foot solar panel extension cord in case I need to park in the shade and put my foldable Harbor Freight solar panel out in the sun. These rubberized gloves, they work great. These are stakes that come with your foldable solar panel to mount it to the ground or leg it to the ground there. You always need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. And then we have razor blades, because I use this type of knife here, where you can switch the razor blades out. That way you don't have to worry about, you know, knife sharpening and all that other stuff. You always have a super razor sharp blade. I have some painter's tape, because just you never know. I have a grommet kit. Did a little short on that. We have 50 feet of 8-inch paracord. You always need cordage. I have a utility knife with the blades that break off when they get dull, so you could just, you know, keep a sharp blade. I have a little screwdriver bit kit with all the different bits you'll ever need. I have an old pair of diagonal cutters. We call them dikes. And then I have it's a Silky Gomboy 240 saw. This thing is pretty neat. Pretty good saw in case you need to cut up some firewood or something. All right, and then I have a long bit for a drill, and then big steel tent stakes for my outdoor mat that I use to keep it from blowing away. To touch again on those cheap 50 caliber ammo cans you get from Harbor Freight, they just nice and orderly. These 2 are my coffee kit. I'm going to reduce that into 1. I just have a huge thing of creamer, that's why I'm using 2 now. And then I get these for like $7 on ITC membership days, the Inside Track Club for Harbor Freight. Highly recommend it. Save you a ton of cash. Another item I used the heck out of was this fan. It's a Koonie, K-O-O-N-I-E. Get these off of Amazon as well. Charged this thing up once, and I've been using it for 2 weeks, and I think it only got down to 3/4. It has 3 settings, and then it doesn't spin, but it has an oscillating speed setting for a 4th setting, and it moves the air nicely. I just put it by the window, and it does a great job of just pumping cool air into this camper. Another piece of equipment that kind of makes a lot of sense in the comfort realm is a camp chair. I have a couple of those. I'll show you what I got. I have two camp chairs. Let's see how they look. Here they are. This one is made by Cascade Mountain Tech. I believe they sell these at Costco. I found this one at Goodwill. I also found that one at Goodwill, and that is a Sportsman's Warehouse one. A little lower profile, a little smaller. When I do my motorcycle stuff, I usually take that chair. This stays in my truck at all times. I have a couple of these, and they have the high back, super comfortable. I'm 6'4" and 245 pounds, and these support me no problem. So I had brought a propane lantern on this trip and never used it once because I purchased this off of the Amazon. This light is like 1,000 lumens. It charges by the solar and it clips on. So you have your little solar charger. You see it's charging right now. All right, and so I can just clip it on my little ledge there. And then it has a remote control with multiple settings, so it's motion detected, so it'll go all the way off, and then if you walk in front of it, it'll come on, or it has a setting where it'll go dim. And it's also a battery bank, so you have your USB and your USB-C, so you can charge, you know, your equipment, your phone, your drone, your GoPro, whatever. This is that has been a pretty awesome piece of kit. And for my sleep situation, I just have this regular, not a mummy bag, just a regular 0 degree sleeping bag I got from Bass Pro Shops. And I like these because you can unfold or unzip them and they turn into like a quilt. And then I also have, you know, a whoopee. You gotta have a whoopee, right? And then I just have a regular stock, you know, whatever pillow on my mattress. So all the stuff I showed you is the way this is set up. It all stays in here. Now we're going to talk about a few things that I want to change here on the Horizon. One of the first things I want to change is I got to make a slightly bigger shelf and maybe kind of a cabinet for this so it just stays put. I move it all about. I built the shelf with the purpose of having this on here, but when you plug the plug into the back to charge it, it won't sit in here all the way, so I just got to make this about another inch or two bigger. No big deal. So another thing that I'm going to end up changing or adding, basically, so I'm not changing it, is this setup right here. I love this setup. The problem is when I got to go drive somewhere, I got to put it away. My buddy Paul has a permanent solar panel affixed to his roof. It's a flexible, thin little solar panel, and he was able to just run his set power on his battery bank and leave that plugged into the solar charger, so it just kept charging and charging, and it ran all day long, no problem. I ran my set power off my cigarette lighter in my truck, and so whenever I turned it off, it went off, and then I would plug it into like my Blue Eddy, which immediately stopped working. So here's what I got now. I got this Top Unive 100 watt flexible solar panel. It's flexible to 270 degree radius, I believe. I like this one because of the low profile. I can just glue it down, and then I'm going to put like a gland is what they call it, or a pass-through that's waterproof to get it into the camper. And then I'm going to have this running to constantly charge my power station, so I can run my set power non-stop on my next trip. My buddy Paul, it was great. The only issue he had was the plug, the cigarette lighter plug kept wiggling out because we were on some seriously bumpy roads. So just something you got to check on from here to here. But I'm going to be doing this. I'll probably do a video on how I run this all together in the future. So that's just going to be a little recap, debrief, or research and development or things learned from my 7-day trip in my camper. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit better. That's what we got going. I'm gonna be building another thing here shortly, so stay tuned for that. I won't tell you what it is just yet, but I'll be starting on that here probably in a couple weeks. So if you like this kind of thing, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with your friends. If you have any questions, hit me up below. Again, I'm working on an Amazon storefront that I can link to this, so you can just click on it and see what I've got, because I get a lot of questions from you guys about where did I get this, where did I get that. Well, Harbor Freight, Home Depot, and Amazon could be the sponsor of this thing, because that's the only stores I went to get anything, really. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, and thanks for watching Bearded Adventure.